do it. Yes. Good man, finish it.
Oh, I'm pushing this chair to its limits. Right, so we're here in the new gaff, and it's 9 weeks out today from the PCA British finals, and just turn on the camera there, I just noticed how big this mountain is growing on my forehead. So yeah, I don't know what that is. Sometimes, now and again, I get really bad breakouts in my face, my back and chest. Even I use a product called limecycline, got a prescription for that to help with, it's an acne antibiotic, and even when I'm on that, sometimes I still break out, so it's better on that. I just haven't bothered my arse to go and get more, so I'm just gonna have to deal with looking like a plucky 14-year-old for now. So like I said, we're 9 weeks out, new kitchen, new gaff, that's got nothing to do with it, and we're 249, pretty much on the button. So that's what did I say last week? 252 or something like that. So £3.5 pound loss since last week, which is bang on the money. Looked at myself yesterday after I trained arms, and definitely the most conditioned and leanest I've been at 9 weeks out ever. So what have I done differently? I think going off last week, what I said was that I've kind of jumped into quite high cardio on my part. So 45 rest day, which I'm away to go do after this, and 30 on a training day. That's not a lot to some, but that's quite not a lot to me, but that's a lot at this stage. So I'm maybe just a little bit leaner because of that, and the fact that I only really had 7 weeks off between the NABA British and starting prep for the PCA British. So, you know, you're not going to gain a mountain of fat in that point, and believe me, I fucking went for it. I tried, but you're not going to put on that amount of fat that quickly. So, got work done on the hip yesterday morning. So we'll wait and see what happens on Tuesday in terms of the leg session there. Yeah, last Tuesday was painful. It was still a great session. I've done a little bit more high volume. So usually what I do is, people who know me and know my programming, is 1 or 2 sets to failure. But this time kind of pushed the rep ranges up, 15 to 20. Just took it a little bit slower and just kind of basically just filled the legs up a little bit more. And I've still got DOMs from doing that session. So it just shows you that you can, just by changing the rep range and the volume a little bit, you can get kind of a new stimulus and something new from your sessions. So that was good. It was good fun. Just kind of change it up a wee bit. So hopefully now with the work done on the left hip, things are a wee bit better on Tuesday. So yeah, that's where I'm at just now. I would say I'm the best I've ever been at 9 weeks out. So going forward, no changes were made. I don't feel that there's any need to, well, Nick and I don't feel there's any need to change anything with gratitude with how much I've come through. It's always nice when Nick says something like, "Oh, I didn't think you were going to look like that." As anyone knows who Nick Vandal, he's a tough man to please and tough man to get a compliment off. So yeah, I would say it's going pretty well. So what else is a report on? Changes, like I said, nothing. Cardio, same, 45-30. 350 carbs. Training, 250 on a rest. And then on a Tuesday night after legs is 5 guys and cheat meal, which is just the usual. The reason I like 5 guys and not doing what I want is you can see how it's cooked, you can see how it's prepared, it says in front of you. It's pretty simple, it's just a burger and fries, isn't it? So there's no wondering about have they put in this, have they put in that. So I've never had a cheat meal yet in a restaurant. I wouldn't go and have like a lasagna and fucking garlic bread and all that. you still enjoy the burger. I mean, you're still dieting, so it's still going to be good regardless. So it's kind of, that's kind of why I've gone for that, and it helps me. It helps me very much. In the morning, looking a wee bit tighter and a wee bit fuller, but you're going to after carbs and salt. So yeah, I think that's on the prep front. On my Instagram story, I put up saying people ask me questions. Thank you to the whole 3 people who gave me suggestions. So just being honest, you know, just all these people that say, oh, people ask me this, people ask me that, and they don't. But one of the messages I got was to talk about how I got into bodybuilding and the kind of messed up, silly sport that it is. And so basically, I played rugby from about the ages of 10, 11. From the ages of 10, 11, I always knew I wanted to be a professional rugby player. In Scotland, that's quite a hard feat, considering that rugby, despite how it being the second most popular sport in Scotland, it's still very hard to get up to that kind of ranking. Soon discovered, not soon, but no matter how passionate I was, how much I trained, I was just never going to be good enough. You can always tell from an early age. You can tell in any sport, someone who's young, going forward, you can tell they're going to be something. It happens in bodybuilding as well. And that wasn't me. No, I wasn't shy, but I wasn't that level either. So, plus, everything happens for a reason. So 18, I knew it wasn't going to ever happen. By that point, I'd been training for 2 years. Granted, like every 16-year-old, chest, arms. I've been taught to lift a little bit playing rugby, but I noticed that I was putting on muscle mass quite easily, quite quickly. So I was like, right, fuck rugby, set that aside, that dream's not happening. And if I'm going to take bodybuilding seriously, because bodybuilding's expensive, as for those who follow me know, a lot of you kind of compete yourselves and blah 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 blah, know that it is quite an expensive sport on all fronts. And I was like, okay, I need a goal then. I can't just say I want to do this out of vanity or whatever to look good. That's not enough motivation for me to kind of spend all my money on supplements and food and that. So I said, right, I'll go for a show, and ended up being far more passionate and a little bit better standard of a bodybuilder than I was a rugby player. So that's basically how I got into bodybuilding. No miraculous story. There's a lot of guys who come from the rugby background. A lot of the bigger guys I know, more successful guys I know, across the whole British front have kind of come from a rugby background. Is that to do with the physique that a rugby can develop? I don't know. Maybe it's to do with the fact that kind of bigger, more masculine men play rugby, and therefore these said guys are able to build muscle a little bit easier, and then they realise that, okay, well, there's another sport, it's called bodybuilding, and I'm going to take up. So probably just offended a lot of people there, but it's true. So that's how I got into it. That's how I got into bodybuilding. And kind of going forward, where I want to take this. The number one goal is a universe title, and I've got an opportunity to do that on the 2nd of November this year. I was brought into the sport and kind of guided by Graham Park, who was a Mr. Universe from Aberdeen, and kind of just, I don't know, I kind of just been embedded that that's always been the pinnacle of amateur bodybuilding in the UK, and I want that before I go anywhere else. So in my mind, now everyone's entitled to do whatever they want. It doesn't bother me. Bodybuilding's a great sport. If you want to compete in the crappiest federation to get a first place or an overall or whatever, that's totally up to you. It's a fantastic sport, and it gets people into fitness and all that cliche stuff that people say, but it's true. And it's amazing seeing people, because now my whole kind of circle of friends now that I see on a daily basis are either fitness or bodybuilders, fitness related people or bodybuilding related people. So it's great seeing people around me going for show this and show that. But the reason I've not done 2 bros or an IFBB qualifier is if you were to win a pro card, just say, no matter the level of the pro qualifier, you're back to 0. You're back to being at the bottom again. You're back to being that first timer or junior bodybuilder, physique, bikini, whatever category. So you're back at the bottom there. Now, in my justification to myself would be, I'd rather be at the bottom of a professional league, having known that I've done everything in the amateur league, amateur federations. So that would be like a PCA British, NABA Mr. Universe, a NABA Mr. Britain. I'd rather, in my mind, know that I've done that, I've achieved that goal, that goal's behind me. The only way forward in terms of progression, other than winning those titles over and over again, is to then go and take on the IFBB kind of pro league. I'm just being a realist. Like I said, when I just went through that kind of my rugby history story, you kind of have to be real with yourself and realistic. And if I were to win said titles, I think I'm being pretty realistic in the fact that I can go and win an IFBB pro card. So that's my justification for it. Do I have an issue with people who have never even placed before in a show doing 2 bros or an IFBB qualifier? No. If a client came to me and said I want to do a show and his first show was 2 bros, again, nothing wrong with a 2 bro show, but I'd probably be like, nah. Start with PCA. PCA have first timer shows, so that's ideal. I'm not too sure if 2 bros does have a first timers class. I could be wrong on that front, but at the same time, I don't know. I think personally you should kind of test the water first in the 2 main federations in the UK, the NABA and PCA, and just kind of see if this is kind of for you. Don't get me wrong, I think everyone's toyed with the idea of wanting to go professional. It looks good in your Instagram bio, number 1. And number 2 gives you a lot of bragging rights. I mean, there's no IFB professionals in Scotland, active ones. So that would give you a lot of bragging rights in that regard. But to me, getting everything under my belt, amateur wise, if that's possible, first before going for a pro qualifier. So that's basically my justification for it. I'm just being a realist. I just like to know that kind of everything's been done and dusted before I go down that avenue. Because then, again, you've then got to build yourself up just like you did. Because to get to the level that I'm at, that's been 19, so I'm 27. That's 8 years. That's 8 years to get to this point. Granted, I took 2.5 years. I took almost 3 years off. And maybe out of those 8 years, like 3 of those years, I kind of just played about. I had no idea what I was really doing. But then if we say that's another 5 years to get to a next level of just an upper next level thing, then that's a lot of time, and that takes a lot of kind of patience in that. So I've completely forgot why I brought that point up. I'm not going to edit it, I don't care. Right, so yeah, 2 bros, maybe 2021. Next year I want to kind of expand business a wee bit, and that sort of thing, and buy a house and all that boring adult stuff next year. But I'm 28, I'm almost 30, I'm losing my hair. I think it's probably time I've done some adult stuff first, grounded myself a little bit, and then go on to kind of push for that, assuming this year goes well. If I don't win the universe this year, I'll do it next year. If I don't win it next year, blah 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 blah. I'm going to keep kind of grafting that until that's done, and then again, I've justified to myself that I'm good enough to kind of push up for a pro card and whatnot. So that was another question I got on Instagram, is why I don't want to do two bros or an IFBB qualifier. That's the reason why I haven't done a two bros show yet. So that's basically it from me. I promise you I'll do this every week. And didn't really get a rant out. I kind of got a semi-rant in terms of the want to do two bros when you've never even won anything before. That's my stance on it. No other rants this week.